Stopping my shine. They try to break me, try to take me out, but I got Jesus on my side. So bad I thought I would die, but ain't no power stronger than the one that came and laid down his life. And I got moments of time, but the enemy can't stop me, 'cause there's a calling on my life. So when I'm crying, don't last too long, 'cause he gon' step in and make it alright. Only do it, he said he would. Hurt your back for you, they gon' wonder how you sleep at night. Only do it, yes he will. Anybody tell you something different, you know that's a lie. You gon' look back and be so amazed how it turned out. It's only his grace. Only do it, he said he would. So I trust him at all times. I'm about to lose it again. I'm about to let him know where I'm from. Don't take me there again. I just call him Jesus, my friend. Get me back in line one more time, 'cause he's always listening. Ain't nobody perfect, everybody's hurting. Need you with my Lord, save me from my weaknesses, 'cause you're always on time. Come and get your breakthrough, 'cause I'm gon' get mine. Do it, he said he would. Hurt your back for you, they gon' wonder how you sleep at night. Only do it, yes he will. Anybody tell you something different, you know that's a lie. You gon' look back and be so amazed how it turned out. It's only his grace. Only do it, he said he would. So I trust him at all times. You see what the enemy had planned for my downfall turned out to be the greatest victory of my life. 'Cause when it comes at you fast and hard, there's only one that can come and make it right. So ain't no need for stressing and crying, 'cause he gon' show up just like he did the last time. And the last time, and the last time, I know. Only do it, yeah. Hurt your backs for you, they gon' wonder how you sleep at night. Only do it, yes he will. Anybody tell you something different, you know that's a lie. You gon' look back and be so amazed how it turned out. It's only his grace. Only do it, he said he would. So I trust him at all times.
Co-author Aviva Solson. Co-author Michelle Smith. Co-author Amiee Rivenbark. Co-author Amie Lands. Co-author Jasmine Welch. Special guest Dr. Janie Lacy and Cora Jakes Coleman.
Ashley K. Pittman is a best-selling author, CEO, and founder of DSIS Publishing, self-publishing consultant, and speaker. She helps aspiring authors put their life stories in a book and begin to heal open wounds during the process. Ashley believes writing can be a way to heal from past hurts. Do you have a story you want to write? Ashley can help. Please welcome Ashley K. Pittman.
I Am Resilient virtual book launch. You're so happy you could join us. Tonight, you will be uplifted, inspired, and encouraged. You will leave us tonight with hope and encouragement that healing is possible after miscarriage, infant loss, pregnancy loss, stillbirth, or infertility. Sit back and enjoy the show. Make sure to pay attention because there will be a surprise gift card and book giveaway coming up.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to the Don't Struggle in Silence virtual book launch. Guys, we have worked so hard on putting all of this together. You will not believe the challenges that has tried to stop things, right? But you know, when you are about to help people and make a movement and make a change, man, things come up out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere. But guess what? It is 6:11. We're about to have Dr. Janie come on, and she's about to absolutely blow your mind with what she's going to share with you guys. And so let me calm down because this is a sensitive topic that we are talking about tonight and the whole reason why we even doing this book launch. So we are here tonight because the women in this book, Don't Struggle in Silence, I Am Resilient, they are sharing their story around pregnancy loss, infant loss, infertility, miscarriage, chemical pregnancy loss, ectopic pregnancy loss, you name it. These ladies have had, oh my God, the experiences that don't no one want to have, right? Absolutely don't no one want to have. But we know what that's like and we have been there. So guys, I'm so happy to be here, guys. And you are in for such a treat. So thank you tonight for being here. If anyone you know, or even if you have experienced a loss like this, guys, we are truly sorry. And today is Bereaved Mother's Day. So we launched this book purposefully thinking about bereaved mothers because Mother's Day is next weekend and we often do not acknowledge the bereaved mothers, or it's too sensitive for us to share, so we don't know, right? We don't know if we should say something or if we shouldn't. But I am here to say, yes, it's okay to tell a bereaved mother Happy Mother's Day, in my opinion. Now, we'll ask the other ladies when they come on and see what they think. But I know for me, when I had that experience with the loss of my twins, it was so helpful and so acknowledging when someone said, Happy Mother's Day. You know what I mean? So guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us your time tonight. And we promise you will leave inspired, encouraged, uplifted. And also, while you add in the comments, celebrate these amazing ladies. We have Miss Aviva Solson, Amie Lands, Miss Amiee Rivenbark, Jasmine Welch, and also Michelle Smith. So guys, congratulate them in the comments, blow up them comments. Let us know you here, communicate with us in the comments because it is virtual, right? So we know you here. I see you here, but let the authors know you here too, because this is what it's about: community support and just acknowledgement, right? Acknowledgement. But we did this on purpose as a group, for the movement, Don't Struggle in Silence, because we don't want you guys out there thinking that you can't share your story or that you alone, because there's a whole community out there that knows what that is like. And if you feel stuck, Cora Jakes Coleman is coming on here shortly, and Dr. Janie Lacy will give you just, like I said, more wisdom and it just inspiration on what you can do and not to give up hope. Okay, so we're going to introduce Miss Dr. Janie Lacy. So we're going to pull up her bio, and then she's going to come on and share with us tonight. So thank you guys. Please join the event, and again, chat with us in the comments so we know you're here. So yeah, that's all I got. So thank you, everybody, and we'll be right back.
Everyone has different personalities, different strengths that they bring to the table, and I believe in a strength-based organization. So if we're thinking negative about ourselves, it eventually will come out in the reflection of the eyes of the other. But then be self-sufficient. Can we get an amen? That was good. That was real good. Come on. I realize everyone has different personalities, different strengths that they bring to the table, and I believe in a strength-based organization. So if we're thinking negative about ourselves, it eventually will come out in the reflection of the eyes of the other. But then be self-sufficient. Can we get an amen? That was good. That was real good. Come on. You know, when I think about difficult bosses, I like to think about the 3 Ps. That we have to be proactive, especially if we know that they're difficult, and we have to plan our interactions with them, along with having a positive attitude. We need another clap. 29 years. Come on, ladies.
Uh-oh. Hold on, guys. It's here. Okay, we're back. So sorry about that malfunction. It's virtual. It's virtual. Stuff happens. It's okay. But we're about to enter, like I said, we're about to introduce Miss Dr. Janie Lacy.
Hello.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, hello there, Dr. Janie.
Hello, Ashley. Such a pleasure to be here with you and all the co-authors. Such an awesome night.
Oh, no, thank you. I know I was like, have a whole bunch of hiccups back here, but that's what happens, right? You know, we go with the flow.
We keep going with it and rolling with it. We are all here. It is fantastic.
So introduce everybody and take it on over.
Absolutely. I want to first just thank you, Ashley, and all the co-authors for just being brave and standing out and speaking your story. You know, because oftentimes I heard this saying that we've all probably heard, that grief isn't a life sentence, it's a life passage. But what if the one common human experience we all have one time or another, but what if you didn't expect it to be the death of your precious infant or loss in pregnancy? Because you know, if you've lost an infant or been affected by the loss of a pregnancy, you're now discovering grieving this loss is one of the hardest things you've ever done. Because suddenly, without warning, your life changes. But have you ever felt such incredible, incredible emotion? Most women describe that incredible emotion around the loss of their infant or pregnancy. Most parents fear that when they're carrying their precious cargo and that journey, that would be the unimaginable loss, but unimaginable until it happens to you, which is why you're all here, these brave offers to tell their story, to help inspire so many people that may relate to their stories. Because most discover, no matter how great the loss or how deep the grief, the world doesn't stop. In fact, when you've had this loss, it intensifies. But do you remember thinking, how can you ever be happy again? Precious cargo, no longer here, holding your baby for those few seconds, few minutes. Some feel as though their pain was visible to others after this, and that they'll be forever be wearing this mask of grief and a tagline. But one of the most healing things that most can do is to actually embrace the pain and to write about it. Write, just write. Sometimes that first blank page is so difficult. Sometimes the only thing that you can do is write down one sentence. The next day, you may write another paragraph. And each day after that, you may find words can come more easily as you embrace your story. Some will say that their journal becomes their safest haven to empty the well of their sorrow, pouring tears of ink onto their paper. And for a little while, they couldn't even let the emotions rest. So I'm sure some of these authors are going to share with us today. But did you ever realize that you had to survive this? You've walked this journey, lost your infant, lost your child through the pregnancy loss. Some even have other living children who need a whole mother. You have to survive and come to the realization that you cannot sacrifice your role in your other loved ones' lives by succumbing to the paralyzing grief. So you keep writing. Words pull you and push you. As weeks go on, you read back over the journal entries. You begin to see something remarkable, that you survived another day, another week, another month, and you were growing stronger. You see, words of hope were illuminating your way. That's why we're here today. You realize that there was no magic secret to the journal, the writing. You just picked up your pen and you began with one word or sentence at a time, but you kept writing. Healing has no timetable. In fact, time doesn't fix this kind of loss. Oftentimes I'll hear, so I'm listening to conversations, watching television, well, you got to move on. No, you don't have to move on. But we do got to embrace and share our story, because it is your story. It's a part of you. It's a part of your story. And then you start taking on, once you embrace and start walking this path, then you don't recognize the person you once were. You actually see how strong you really are. Some used to believe that old cliche, everything happens for a reason. But with this kind of tragedy, it seems to be reversed. When a tragedy like this happens, it can be the starting place to give you, your story, reason and relevance. But when you recognize this, it's the moment your grieving starts to shift. Imagine that. What would it feel like? Many say, Dr. Janie, I used to fantasize and picture my life without this pain by writing out that very question. What would it be like to feel peace around my precious infant's loss, or the baby that was growing within me? She would say, I visualize myself without the veil of sorrow and allow the comfort of happiness to flow in. And for a brief moment, she can feel it. And as time went on, she was able to reach that peaceful feeling more frequently. She had the power within those pages of her writing in her journal to compartmentalize her sorrow. You see, once you're aware of what it feels like, you'll be able to access it more easily, as you also beautifully have done in writing this book together to help us understand, to be inspired by your story, because you were able to access your pain, your journey, your sorrow. It can be days, it can be months, it can be years, but sometimes the tear still surprises you. But the work of healing has brought you a harmonious blend of resolution and comfort as your heart joyfully connects with the small ballad of memories, of the celebration of finding out that you were pregnant, the anticipation of your child, and the moments of joy, and even holding your baby for those few moments. But healing doesn't mean you'll never feel the sadness at all. It means you'll be able to have memories without attaching that intense despair that so many feel, not seeing how their life can go on without their precious baby. The loss can teach us, though, and it has taught you all, because that's why you're here tonight as we celebrate this launch with you, to love harder and to appreciate each and every single day. To love harder and to appreciate each and every single day. Let me say that again, to love harder and to appreciate each and every single day by embracing your story and using your journal, using your writing as your safe place as you begin to form a new relationship with the loss, telling us your story and connecting with others through your story of resiliency. You now reach out to others and begin sharing your story in the hopes it can reassure other wounded parents, because there is life after loss. And that is part of the healing journey, is we start sharing our story to inspire others, and we identify and help other parents with their loss by letting them know they're not alone, because no one truly understands your journey unless they've walked in your journey. But they can hold your hand, they can comfort you, they can be there for you, they can inspired by your story. Because there's one thing we know for sure. You have learned a mother's love never diminishes. In fact, your love only grows. Just as it would have if he or she were still alive. You are still his or her mother. You now have created a legacy and a purpose for those that are left behind. That's why you're sharing your story. It's up to you, his or her mother, to honor them by healing. So in closing, I want you to remember this. There is a natural process that can feel unending in the day of those 5 stages of grief: that denial, that anger, that bargaining, those days where depression just feels like the cover is just the best place to be because you don't want to face the world. Then we eventually get to the place of acceptance and we share our story to inspire others. That's why we're here today. But in those sharing of the stories and letting people know that they're not alone and they're walking in their stories is that 6th one. And that's finding meaning, which all of you authors have done today with the release of Don't Struggle in Silence, led by your amazing compiler, Ashley Pittman. You are all resilient. This is Dr. Janie Lacy.
Well, Dr. Janie, you absolutely hit home with that message. Thank you so much. That touched my heart, and you're talking to me as a mother of loss. So thank you. And I know the other ladies absolutely appreciate that. I know the audience did. Aviva said, "Oh my God, Dr. Janie Lacy is amazing. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Lacy." Let me see. We have anything else? Ebony shares, "You're absolutely amazing. You're incredible, Dr. Janie. You're amazing. Absolutely amazing. We felt that coming from the heart, and we appreciate you so much. And just so happy that you could join us tonight, Dr. Janie."
It's my pleasure. Thank you, Ashley. So proud of you and all the ladies.
Thank you.
Inspiring us all.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. The authors, absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely put their hearts and love and passion, vulnerability into their chapters. Phenomenal book. I'm very, very proud of every single one of the ladies that absolutely share with us. So thank you again for coming on, and have an amazing evening. And if you can stay for the event, awesome. But if not, we understand. You've absolutely come and delivered. So thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, goodness. Okay, guys. So we are supposed to have Miss Cora Jakes on, but we're going to pivot a little bit, and we're going to have Miss Amiee Rivenbark come on, and we're going to just ask a few questions of her, just about her chapter, who she is, as a person, and also just some encouraging words, guys. So I want you to please welcome Miss Amiee Rivenbark.
Hey, Ashley. Thank you so much.
Hi, Amiee. I'm so happy that you could come on and join this collaboration and pour your heart into this collaboration. So tell us who Amiee Rivenbark is.
Well, I'm a wife. My husband, Dustin, he does youth ministry, so I help out with that. I have 3 daughters, 12. My middle daughter, Callie Grace, passed away, and then a 3-year-old, Addie. So they keep me pretty busy. I stay at home, and I help out at a local pregnancy center doing grief and bereavement with people who have had a loss with pregnancy, miscarriage, or early infant loss. So I stay pretty busy between all of that.
Oh, you said, well, let's back up a little bit. You said that your daughter that passed. Just briefly share a little bit of that and with the audience.
Yes. So our middle child, Callie Grace, we went to go have our anatomy scan, and basically everything, we did struggle to get pregnant. So it was kind of we went through the unexplained infertility, didn't know what was wrong. That was very frustrating because I wanted something to fix. And so wrestled with that for a while, and then finally gave up, said, okay, that's not God's will for us. So what is? And all of a sudden ended up getting pregnant. And like I said, there were no problems. And all of a sudden we went to the anatomy scan and found out that our baby girl did not have kidneys or a bladder. And so to me, we were just going to the doctor's office to find out what we were having. And to my surprise, I never in a million years saw that coming. Never had heard of that. I didn't know anybody that had experienced anything similar to what I was going through. And so it really, really rocked my world. It shook up my family, rocked my faith. And so we, of course, had to go through that and decide, what were we going to do? That was a whole process. And ultimately we decided that we would carry Callie Grace as long as God would sustain her. And so it was it was very unnatural because, the doctors are telling us that she's not going to make it. And, we wanted to hold on to that hope that a miracle can happen. And so we had to plan a funeral while I was carrying her. And that is the most difficult thing that I've ever experienced in my life. And so as time went on, she slowly was not doing well. So she ended up going into congestive heart failure. And she was 1 month shy of full term. And she passed away in my womb. And that was my greatest fear, was that she would be stillborn, because I never got to look her in her eyes. She was not alive. She wasn't breathing. So I didn't get to hear her cry. All of those things that that us as mothers want, I didn't get that. So it was definitely, that was September 21st, 2016. And so this September is 5 years, and it's been a journey. And a lot of what Dr. Janie said, it just really, really hit home and spoke to me. It was very encouraging. And just like with you, Ashley, and you're acknowledging and just speaking, all of those things, it just has 100% helped me on this journey.
Oh, wow, Amie. Every time I hear your story, even though I've heard it, I've read it, it still takes me, my heart, like, still just like fall to the floor. Because I know that was very difficult to go through, but you are a woman of resilience, right? And so
Yes.
that's why you joined this book collaboration, Don't Struggle in Silence, I Am Resilient, because you had to be resilient. You had to be strong, even though, of course, when it first happened, you're absolutely like fall completely apart. Like your world is like, what is this? Is this real? So I thank you for being strong. I thank you for being brave, to sharing your story with the world, for everyone in the audience, to the authors that is in this book. Thank you for doing what you're doing. So, okay. So
Absolutely.
I love you, by the way. So we're going to save some of her story for the book, because we want you guys to download the ebook to help us become best-selling authors. And also, we want you to read the book. But Amie,
Yes.
dear, we love you so much. We love you so much. Where can we connect with you at?
Love you too.
Where can we connect with you at, Amie?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, it's Instagram, AKLEA 123 that's my email at yahoo.com. But Instagram is just the AKLELE 123.
Okay. I know that you guys may not have gotten that, but I would definitely put that in the post email post event. So you have everyone's social media, so you can connect with them, guys, because I know everyone can connect, or can probably maybe not relate to our stories. But if not, if you know someone, definitely connect them to us, because that's why we're doing this, so we can connect, build a community, support other moms and dads, right? We cannot forget the dads, because if it was not because of the dads, we wouldn't even have these children, right? So definitely connect with them when that post email will come out. Amie, thank you, dear. Absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I can't wait for everybody to get the book and we get reviews and see how everybody connect with our stories, dear. So thank you for coming on and being the author, one of the authors of this book.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we're going to let Amie go, and we are going to bring on Miss Cora Jakes Coleman. But before we do, we are going to learn a little bit more about her, guys. So give me one moment, and we share her brief bio. So give me one moment. Let's see here.
pastor, author, and wife to her wonderful husband Brandon Coleman, as well as mother to her beautiful daughter Amiee and energetic son Jason. Pastor Cora oversees and directs the Destiny World Children's Ministry at the Potter's House of Dallas, in addition to her Cora Jakes Coleman ministry efforts. She recently released her new book, Ferocious Warrior, Dismantle Your Enemy and Rise, sharing how she battled a variety of difficult obstacles and won. She has a heart for all people who are trying to get and reach their promise, and encourage them to fight for their dreams no matter what obstacles they face. Please welcome Pastor Cora Jakes Coleman.
There we go again, guys. Okay, so guys, I'm so happy to introduce her and bring her on and let her take over the stage and pour over and in and beyond to us tonight, guys. Welcome, my dear friend, Miss Cora Jakes Coleman.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here, and congratulations on your new book. I know all about the book writing and the tarrying and the praying, even when it's a collaboration. I imagine that's probably even harder. So congratulations. May this book be a blessing to all those who get an opportunity to read it.
Yeah. Thank you, Cora, for coming on. So I'm going to let you take over the show.
Okie dokie. Let's see. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you again for I want to first give honor to my father, for without them, I am not here this evening. I want to give honor to my husband, who is watching our heathens and holding the fort down. In full discretion, it is a moving weekend for me. So I come to you just as I am, naturally beautiful on this evening, okay? And yet still working. One hand soaked off because I've been moving, and another that is trying to figure out what it's going to do with its life. And so thank you in advance for taking me just as I am on this evening. I digress. I want to talk to you a little bit today and being able to encourage you, if I may, from a perspective of great understanding a barren place. And when I say a barren place, I mean when we are looking to birth a thing, looking to have something in our life, we end up participating in both a grieving process, if you will, as well as a receiving process. It's this moment where we come into agreement with God, saying, whatever your will may be, yes. And then this place of grief and fear where we have to then grieve the idea of what we thought his will was. Incidentally, I found myself in the barren place after having to myself grieve what I thought God's will was. Now, that alone is the first thing that I want you to just kind of sit in this afternoon, or this evening rather, is I have to give myself permission to grieve what I thought his will was going to be. I have to give myself permission to go through the denial, to go through the bargaining, to go through the ups and the downs, to go through the depression, the anger, to go through all of the steps of grief, because the reality is I will not be able to fully accept what God has for me until I fully accept that sometimes the will of God does not necessarily fall in line with my expectation. I expected to birth something beautiful. I expected to become a mother this way. I expected that the book would be written this way. I expect that my husband was going to be this height. I expected that the business was going to go this way. The budget was going to go this way. The car was going to go this way. The house was going to go this way. My body was going to go this way. The hospital visit was going to go this way. I expected all of these things to go a specific way. And then I reach this point in life where I have to accept that sometimes the will of what I hope is not the will of what God needs. Do you hear what I'm saying? The will of what I hoped, my expectations, what I wanted, what I desired, was not the will of what God needed. Whoa, that's like huge, man. It was huge for me to be 22 years old, just diagnosed with polycystic ovarian syndrome, wanting engaged, married. I thought the song was what my life would be. First comes love, then comes marriage, then the baby and the baby carriage. Hello. We hit this wall, me and God. And I'm just talking to you tonight. I didn't come to preach. It's a book club, so I imagine this can be conversational. I hit a wall with God where I met him in a no. And I threw a temper tantrum, y'all. I threw an outright temper tantrum because I met God in a no. I had been the princess. I had been his favored one. Everything had gone great. And I thought there would be nothing that God would take me through that would be heavier than I could bear. And yet I had this weight that seems unbearable. In some kind of way, I hit a wall with God. I knew him to be a father. I knew him to be a friend. I knew him to be a provider. I knew him to be a miracle worker. I knew him to be a healer. I seen him. I seen him do it. I'd seen him open wombs, open blind eyes. I'd seen him cast demons out through the hands of people. I knew who God was, yet I hit a wall. And I had to understand in this moment that for the longest, I thought it was who I was going to birth. It was who I was going to bring into the world. I thought for the longest that this child that God had promised me, that it was going to change the world and the nation, and it was going to come at the time I expected it to come. It was going to move at the time that I expected it to move, and I wasn't going to have to do much of anything but believe God. That was all I had to do, right, was believe God. That was the work, just to believe. No, that was the cop out, just to believe. That was the bare minimum. That was the least I could do for how big of a miracle I was asking for. Ask yourself this. Am I giving God the least I can do, but asking for the biggest blessing? Am I giving God my least bit of hope and asking for the biggest promise? Am I giving him my least bit of faith, my mustard seed? Yeah, I'm coming for your little mustard seed. Yes, I am. My mustard seed faith. My least I can, but asking for a miraculous encounter. The least I could do. That was easy. It was easy to do the least. It was easy to hope a little. It was easy to hope and believe a little. But when God asked me to put my hopes up, get my hopes up, that was a big thing. That was a big request. That was a big deal for you to ask me to get my hopes up, God, in a place where we've hit a wall. And I've trusted you, and I believed you, and I've prayed for people, and I've laid hands on people and had conferences, and I believe God, and yet we hit a wall. Have you ever been in a situation absolutely with every fiber of your being know God is, know him to be exactly what you're praying for in a moment, and yet still thrown into a valley of dry bones that you've never dealt with? Ezekiel knew who God was. He knew who he could be. He had experienced God, and yet still he was thrown into a valley of dry bones he had never dealt with before. Maybe I'm simply here to tell you that though the situation may seem dreary, though it may seem like you aren't birthing where you need to birth or what you think you should be birthing, at the end of the day, sometimes it's not even about the who. Sometimes it's about the what. Sometimes it's about the ability of the dry. He did not say, can they be sons and daughters? Can they be doctors? Can they be? He said, can they live? Can these dry bones live? Do they have the ability to do something unexpected? Watch this. Whenever you ask God to do something in your life, be it conception of a baby or conception of a business or conception of a relationship or conception of affection or feelings or whatever you're going to ask God, when you put God in a position to do something that you're asking him for, you must understand that it comes with a level of expectancy that can become burdensome if you do not understand, if you do not look at the dry bone situation and consider, hey, how can I make this situation beautiful? How can I make where I turn this thing that I just birthed that is beyond my knowledge, this thing that I'm wanting in me that is beyond my knowledge, this thing that God is showing me that is beyond my knowledge. How do I birth this thing that God has on the inside of me without hope, without faith? You cannot. And unfortunately, when we are dealing with infertility, loss of children, miscarriages, even abortion, we deal with the grief, the sorrow, the pain, the forgetting, pain in our hearts and in our souls that go through a barren, broken thing that seems audacious for God to ask you to believe him. It seems audacious for God to ask you to trust him when you've hit a wall. So you ask me, how do we get past the wall? Well, I imagine you can't get past a wall you won't acknowledge. I imagine that you can't get past a wall that you won't accept. I imagine that you cannot get past a wall without believing and trusting and hoping that whatever it is that you speak to the obstacle that is in your way, that it will fall. You are not going to go through a 12-step program. I don't have that for you. I don't have take this step, take this step, take this step, and everything's going to turn out great, and we're going to leap for joy, and everything's going to be wonderful. What I have for you is the reality that we never know who we're going to birth. We never know the power of what we're going to birth. We never know the pain what we're going to birth. And yet in a hospital room, there we are in an experience where death and life meet, and they make a decision about what's inside of you. This can happen both naturally and spiritually. When you have something in you that's a threat to the enemy, there's a process that you go through, a pregnancy, if you will, that you go through. And at a certain point, death and life come together and they say, let's make a decision about what she wants to birth. Let's make a decision about what he wants to bring into this world. Let's make a decision. At the moment that you have a threat on the inside of you, this is how we can have a high-risk pregnancy. At the moment that there is a threat on the inside of you to the enemy, it is in that very struggle and the fight and death happen, and you're trying to produce life while keeping your life, and you're trying to push life while keeping your life, and your heart rate is raising, and the baby's heart rate is raising, and contractions and pain and stretching, and all of these things are happening whether the baby is going to live or not, because the very fact of life in you is a threat. In the last minutes, I want you to hear what I'm saying. Ooh. Oh, because it's going to help you. The very fact that there is life in you is a threat. You want this to be about being pregnant. You want this to be about you having a baby. You want this to be about the simple part of birth. I want you to do is go deeper than that. Take a deep breath. There is life in you. Even if I'm not pregnant, there's life in me. And the very fact that there is life in me poses a threat to the enemy. It poses a threat to his territory. I thought that it was about me birthing a baby. It's really about me walking. It's really about me waking up. It's really about me choosing to live in spite of the pain of what I've had to lose. It's really about the fact that I can stand strong in a barren place and say, even though you slay me with infertility and miscarriages and loss of children, yet will I trust you, because I know that there is a promise at the end of this, and it would reminded of me to suggest that the promise is something as small as a child that is going to be birthed from my loins. But the idea here, ladies, sisters, is that the promise is God. The promise is Christ Jesus. It is not about what you birth. It is not about what you're going to go through. The promise at the end of this is Jesus. And so maybe you birthed something that broke you. Maybe you broke something that was a burden to you. Maybe you broke something that sent you into a place of grief. Maybe you birthed something that sent you into a place of joy. Maybe you birthed something that taught you how to be more gentle. Maybe you birthed something that taught you about long suffering. Maybe you birthed something that taught you about self-control. Whatever it is that you birthed that's attached to the fruit of God, that's attached to the power of God, to the strength of God, I want you to know that as long as you have breath in your body, as long as you have a life in your body, as long as you can breathe, move, clap your hands, move your head, blink your eyelids. I don't care what move you've got to make, whatever confirms the life in your body. I want you to know that it is because of that life that you are a threat. It is because of that life that the enemy took you and tried to kill you. It's because of that life that you had to go through losing the children. It's because of that life that you had to go through the miscarriage. It's because of that life that you had to go through the stillbirth. And I know it hurt, and I know it's hard, and I know it's painful, and yet still you're breathing, and yet still you're what? yet still you're a threat to the enemy. Everything that have breath has the ability to praise the Lord, and everything that can praise the Lord can shift the atmosphere of the enemy. I'm going to say that again. Everything that has breath can praise the Lord, and anything that praises the Lord has the power to shift the atmosphere of the enemy. So when the enemy comes in like a flood, God builds a standard against it, because everything that had breath praise the Lord. So even in the atmosphere, Shandiosaya, of my breath, the enemy is afraid. Even in the atmosphere of my ability, the enemy is afraid. I don't have to do nothing but blink, because the life of me, I thought it was about what I was birthing. I thought it was about the Nehemiah and the raven. I thought it was about the promise and the dream and the vision board and the twins and the triplets. And I thought it was about all of the things that I would birth through my loins. But at the end of the day, it was about life. And it's always been from the very beginning. It was about God wanting to give us access to the understanding of life. Not that we would have life and that more abundantly. That is what he wanted. From the very beginning, he wanted you to acknowledge the power of life. The power of life and death. There's a power in life for your acknowledgement of death. There's a power of you being able to acknowledge there's life in me before you acknowledge I'm going to give up here, before you acknowledge I'm going to let go here, before you acknowledge I'm going to move away from here. I want you to know that in spite of the burden that Jesus carried, in spite of the blood that he dripped from the crown of his head to the very soles of his feet, in spite of what I'm sure were thorns that were gashed brutally inside the skull of his head, not at one point did he lose power. Not at one point did he lose victory. So in spite of the bleeding, in spite of the burden that you may carry, in spite of the pain and the sorrows and the tears, as you watch those who you loved leave you, as you watch those who loved you leave you, you'll never lose power. You never lose power. As long as you have life. As long as you have life inside of you, you can fight death. You can fight death, and you can win with victory. You don't have to die in this barren place. You can break out. Spirit of the living God, we thank you. We thank you for your power. We thank you for your love. We thank you for every dry bone that you set us in front of. We thank you for every dry that you birthed. We thank you, God, for the ones that had the power and the ability to speak into, and the ones, God, that you said not now. And God, I pray that even in this moment where we understand that there are bones where you said not now, that we would still rely on you, depend on you. We would still call on you. We would still trust in you. We would still believe in you, God. We would still hold on to you, because you're faithful to hold on to us. You're faithful, God, to complete your promise. And yet still, God, even when you give us a promise, God, we pray now in the name of Jesus that we we would not try to control the way that you give us what you promised. But God, we would rather embrace what you promised us and ask God that you would teach us how to sustain, maintain, develop, and grow that in which you have promised. Jesus, that would cover us from the crown of our head to the soles of our feet. Forgive us, God, for moments where we denied you. Forgive us, God, for moments where we betrayed you. Forgive us, God, for moments where we may have even thrown our stone at you. God, forgive us. Forgive us for moments where we tried to manipulate you to give us what we wanted and not wait. Forgive us, God, for not being still and knowing that you are God, and beside you there is no other. Forgive us, God. And as we move and have our being, God, I pray that you would continue to pour out your spirit upon all flesh that is open and willing to receive the power of your spirit. Great and mighty God, we ask you now to open up every broken and barren womb, the living God. Pray, Elohim, that you create, God, create sturdy uteruses and sturdy ovaries, God. Create your flow in the wombs of every woman that is waiting for your hand, God, to touch them now. I pray, God, that your miracle working power would match the power of their faith to believe that you're able. And God, I match now their faith with mine in the case that their faith isn't big enough to produce the miracle they're asking for. I pray, Basura Mandiosaya, oh God, that you would see our faith united and you would open up every broken thing, open up every barren thing, open up every dead thing. I pray, God, now that doctors' reports would hurt. I pray in the name of Jesus that babies that have been birthed, God, that you begin to touch them in a miraculous way. Touch every organ lost and those that are there. In the name of Jesus, God, I pray that the devil be mortified by the life in us, mortified by the life through us, mortified, God, by the life by us. And I pray now in the name of Jesus that the fire of the Holy Ghost would surround every pregnant woman. The fire of the Holy Ghost, a ring of protection around their womb. In the name of Jesus. And I pray, God, that you release your joy. I pray, God, now that you release your peace. I pray, God, now that you release your strength. I pray, God, that you release your splendor. I shall see you, Rabbi. In the name of Jesus, break every chain, destroy every yoke, every curse of barrenness, all the way back to Adam. We sever it now. Every hold of the enemy, every witch and every warlock, we sever your hold now in the name of Jesus. And we ask you, God, to continue to favor us as we favor you. Continue to cover us. Oh God, cover us in your blood. Keep us in perfect peace. Cover us in your armor, God. Show us where to go. Show us how we should go. Give us strategy and direction for the destiny you have ahead. And I give you praise and I give you glory, God, for you are able and you're wonderful. And we thank you for we believe that. So, and so it is. In the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. God bless you all. Thank you for having me. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Thank you for that, just that word of encouragement and just really just pouring into us, and it absolutely touched my soul in every single way. So thank you, love. And I want to just tell the audience, you know, how me and you even connected. We connected back in January, and Cora was hosting a room on Clubhouse. And so it was my first room. I seen Cora and I'm like, oh, let me get in here, right? And so she was having people come on and share like their testimonies, basically. And so I didn't think she was gonna pick me, right? And she picked me. I was like, oh shoot. But before let me tell you, y'all, before I even went on, I heard this young lady share a story about her parents, right? I have been dealing with this for a very long time. My grandmother raised me and my two sisters. My mom and dad are both addicted to drugs, alcohol, and in and out of jail my entire life. My grandmother took me in at the age of 7. So I've dealt with a lot of unforgiveness on top of losing my own kids in 2009. But Cora brought me to the stage, and I told her, because that young lady prior to me has shared her story, gave me the encouragement to share my story. And do you know what Cora did after that? Her and everybody that she had on that panel literally spoke life over my life. Do you remember that, Cora?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Yes,
and so she poured into me. And do you know, and I don't talk to my mom like that. I don't talk to my father like that. My mom and dad is my grandmother. And I hardly ever share this. Cora, really, because of Cora, that day on January the 7th of 2021, my life changed because somebody prior to me has shared their story, which gave me the encouragement to talk about my story and then talk to Cora about it after the fact. So Cora literally poured life into me. And ever since that day, Cora, I know I probably told you this already, but when I talk to my mother, I don't feel unforgiveness. I don't feel resentment. I don't feel all that what I was feeling prior to me coming across you and connecting with you and you praying over me, literally. So that is how I even know this amazing, powerful, incredible woman. And she, anytime I send her a message, I mean, she's right there, like we sisters, and we know we're not sisters, right? But she's a phenomenal woman, Cora. And I just really just thank you for just being here tonight and pouring into us. And tonight I want to share, tonight we are doing a giveaway, and we're giving a free copy of your book to whoever wins the giveaway. So that I want
to smaller now, but that is me. She's so much smaller, she has a jaw. Woo! It's the jaw for me. It's the jaw for me. Absolutely.
Stop. But Cora, you're phenomenal. I love your personality, your spirit. I know everybody absolutely enjoyed you tonight. So thank you, dear. And yes, you're welcome. Thank you for just coming on. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. And I know you probably have to go. So thank you, love. Thank you.
Absolutely. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Guys, oh my God. So if that touched you in any way, please share it in the chat. Miss Cora Jakes Coleman did her thing. And I know anyone that needed that encouragement or that inspiration, I know that may have helped you. I hope it helped you, right? That's why I asked her to be a part of this, because what we're talking about, the stories that these ladies in the book share are just so raw. Raw. And these ladies share raw emotions, just their experience overall, guys. So that's why I asked her even to be a part of it. And she said yes, right? And I think she over-delivered. Her and Dr. Janie absolutely just over-delivered tonight. So I hope this really touched you guys. So what we have coming up now is what I was just sharing with you guys. We do have a giveaway coming up. And what I will tell you what that entails in just a second. But in this giveaway, the prize will be one winner. So, and we're going to put your name in the spinner once you follow what it is. Okay. So the prize is a $25 gift card to Amazon, also a copy of Miss Cora Jakes' book, and then also a copy of our book, the book that the women, Miss Aviva Solson, Jasmine Welch, Amie Lands, Michelle Smith, and also Miss Amiee Rivenbark co-authored in, guys. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. So we're going to do that. So we're going to do the giveaway, and then we're going to then have the incredible authors who you've been waiting for. Miss Amiee Rivenbark came on, but we're going to meet the rest of the authors, and we're going to hear their experience about their chapter in the collaboration. And I want them to give you more encouragement and inspiration, and really hope this really help those that has experienced loss similar to ours or not similar to ours. But we all know losing a child, mom, dad, auntie, grandma, uncle, whomever, losing a child or family member overall in general is not easy to walk. Like that journey is no words. So let's go ahead and put on a little music and we'll wait. Did I tell you what to do? Wait, did I tell you? I did tell you. No, I didn't. I forgot the details. See, look, see, virtual. So I'm going to put it up here in just a second, but I need you to go to my Instagram page. Don't struggle in silence is the what you call it? The tagline. What is it? What is it? Oh my God, nobody's here to tell me. I can't hear anybody. Janelle's laughing. Well, go to Don't Struggle in Silence on Instagram. Find my page. You will see me. And follow it. And also download the ebook on Amazon. So we can hit the bestseller list tonight or tomorrow or whenever it all comes in. So we want to hit the top 100 Amazon bestsellers list. So guys, so your participation, even if you don't do the giveaway, just your participation in general and supporting these ladies, celebrating them and all their hard work, and also let them walk away from the project. Also, not just a life changer, not just an encourager, not just someone that's inspiring and using their stories to change lives, but also walk away with the status of being a best-selling author. So give us a few moments. I'm going to pop up the screen for the giveaway on the rest of the details as far as what I just said. And then we'll pick a winner if we have anyone in the chat. So please, when you do these two things, please put it in the chat comments. Just proof of, just a screenshot is fine. Of you following Don't Struggle in Silence, and also about the ebook, the screenshot. Once it says you've purchased it or pre-ordered it, just put it in the chat, and I have someone watching the comments to let me know who I need to put in the drawing. Even if it's a 1, 2, 3 people, it doesn't matter. Your participation is greatly appreciated. Okay, so I'll be right back.
I'm a go hard as I can, and I'm gonna be the boss. No limits on the swag on it. Walk right up to the front where I belong and brag on it. Go to the top, I'ma give it all I got. I take the life, but we ain't gonna ever stop. I do believe I'm something special. Can't take that from me. So you can say what you want, I gon' hold her stronger. Be who I'm supposed to be. 'Cause I'm unstoppable. Get on in. That's the way I was made, and I'm up on my business. I'm I dream about it, I go get it, that's how I do it. Not in the stars, I'm not lucky, I just pray through it. Fall on my face, and I might make mistakes, but I don't let it break me, 'cause I'm still on my way. I do believe I'm something special. Can't take that from me. So you can say what you want, I go hold it stronger. Be who I'm supposed to be. Get on in. That's the way I was made, and I'm up on my business. I'm unstoppable. Ain't no hoping and wishing. Say it better, catch your wave, and I go out and get it. I can be what I want, try it if I want. And I'm about a king, and he won't let me go. Unstoppable. Nah, 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 he won't let me go. It's unstoppable. Come what may, in his safety. Winds may blow, waves won't overtake me. Tears in my eyes, but I'm still gonna survive. 'Cause he's incredible, he's powerful, and I will rise from the bottom. 'Cause he's incredible. 'Cause I'm unstoppable. Get on in. That's the way I was made, and I'm up on my business. I'm unstoppable. Ain't no hoping and wishing. Say it better, catch a wave, and I go out and get it. I can be what I want, try it if I want. I'm a king, he won't let me go. Unstoppable. Nah, 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 he won't let me go. It's unstoppable. Nah, 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 he won't let me fall. No.
Okay, guys. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's virtual. It's virtual. Okay, so we are going to have the authors coming up next. We have Miss Amie Lands, who is going to come up and share and encourage and inspire us tonight. She is one of the co-authors of the book. And just like when we talked to Aviva Rivenbark earlier, every time I hear this lady's story, whether it's on the radio show, on podcasts, and even reading, every time I see or read their stories, each and every time it impacts me more and more. And I just see just the true overall resilience that these ladies have, and just being just strong and courageous. And many times we go through these losses or these experiences and we don't talk about it, or we focus it on someone else. But I'm so happy, proud, and honored for these ladies to trust me with their stories and trust you guys with their stories. And so I really just hope that this is really benefiting everybody, right? So I'm so proud and honored to welcome Ms. Amie Lands to the stage.
Hi, Ashley.
So we're happy to have you, dear. And again, like I said earlier, thank you so much for just being a part of this collaboration, because it's absolutely life-changing for me. Anytime I get to hear someone's story and you walk me through your experience. So tell the audience about who Amie Lands is and tell us your experience that you've had with loss.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I am a certified grief recovery specialist. I'm the founder of the Ruthie Lou Foundation and a mom, wife, teacher, and cancer survivor. And I was so grateful when Ashley invited me to participate in this book. My chapter specifically focuses on the most beautiful and difficult and terrible and heartwarming parts of our time with our daughter, who lived for 33 days. And then the time that comes after, the time that, that I never thought I would survive, the time that had you told me then I would have a life worth living, I would have told you you were wrong. And my chapter specifically talks about the parts of life that got me through. And most specifically, that was community. It was surrounding myself with people who could hold my hand, and those who understood, and those who maybe didn't understand, but who were with me every step of the way. So I truly believe that community can really help us hold hope when we don't have it. They are there for us in our times of greatest need. And when hope seems too heavy a weight to bear, our community is there to hold us when we need them.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Again, Amie, anytime I talk to you, you just touch my heart in every single way. So I know I keep saying that. I keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it because it's true.
Oh, I feel the same way, Ashley. Thank you so much.
And like I told Amie earlier, I'm sorry you had to go through this, that you even know what this feels like, that you even had to walk those shoes. But like I said earlier, you are a woman of strength, a woman of honor, a woman of resilience. And again, I'm honored to hear your story and also read your story, because you put so much passion in your writing, and you feel every single word that you write. Like, you paint the picture, right? And that's what captivates us as readers, right? So thank you, love, for doing this work with us. And even the work that you've done prior to this. Thank you for just being in that space, because we know just being in this space is not always easy, because sometimes it can trigger, right? And that's not what we want, but sometimes them triggers can help us grow or heal a little bit more, or just to see from somebody's perspective. Wouldn't you say so?
Absolutely. And, I am just so grateful to have been given the opportunity to write this part of my story. My other books are all books on grief and healing. They're all narratives or self-help, ways to walk us through. And this is my narrative. This is my daughter's story. And this is the first step into being able to share that with the world. And so I'm really excited to be a part of this, and excited to see the book in print.
I know, right? That's the best part. When you actually see it and touch it and feel it and open it up, you're like, wow. So that's always like a very fun part for me. But then it's also bittersweet, though, because like the collaboration is coming to an end. So it's like, oh,
Yeah.
So thank you for, like I said, coming on and being here tonight at the event. Where can the audience connect with you at?
My website is amielandsauthor.com, and the spelling on the screen is correct, AMIE. And on all social media platforms, it's also Amie Lands Author.
Awesome, dear. Thank you, guys. And so, like I said earlier, I will put everybody's information in the post event email, so you guys can, find a way or have a way to connect with all of the authors and the special guests that we had earlier, just so you can connect with them. And at the end of the day, this really is all a community, and we know or have an idea of what it's like to lose a child and someone so special, and to not give up hope. Right? Not give up hope. So, Amie, is there any last encouragement or inspiration that you want to give the audience?
I just want to remind you to put one foot in front of the other. And on those hardest days, just keep doing that. Give yourself space to grieve. Give yourself space to feel. Feeling leads to healing.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Amie. So thank you, love. And we hope you have an extraordinary night. And
thanks, Ashley.
Thank you, and have a good night. And we will read your chapter here in a bit.
Thanks, Ashley. Take care.
You too. Thank you. Okay, guys. So that was Amie Lands. She is, like I said, one of the co-authors of the book that we're obviously here for to celebrate. Phenomenal woman, phenomenal story, guys. And every chapter in this book, you might forget to breathe because what they have been through, guys, is so life-changing. It changes your whole trajectory on life. What you thought life was, or what you thought life would be, it changes after you go through an experience of miscarriage, pregnancy loss, infant loss. Like, it changes everything. And these ladies, they did it. They absolutely did it. And I'm gonna be all the way honest. It has been very triggering for me because I step into their shoes as they wrote, as I read their chapters, and then I say, I just want to hug you. And keep in mind, we have not met each other to hug, to really get to be in each other's presence. But we've done a lot of virtual calls, Zoom calls, all that. But still, when I read their chapters, when you read their chapters, you would just be like, yeah, can I hug you? Like, So, however, next week we're going to have, let me see, who is next? We do have, oh gosh, another woman that is going to give you so much wisdom, so much encouragement, and she's going to pour into you. So be prepared. She might make you cry. But I'm happy to bring up Miss Aviva Solson. Hi, honey.
Hi.
Oh, Aviva. So let's tell, who is Aviva? Let's tell the audience who Aviva is.
A lot of things, Ashley. But first of all, hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. We all collectively do not take the fact that you took a couple hours away from your weekend to join us, to celebrate with us. But most important of all, you all came looking for something. Now, what that something is could be different for different people. It could be hope, courage, strength, maybe even some concrete steps that you can take next. No matter what, I just want to say, you blessing us with your presence, I do not take that lightly. So thank you. Who am I? I am Aviva Solson, as Ashley mentioned, and my name's on the screen. I am a mother, first and foremost, and I think that is the bond that connects all of us here tonight. I have a very loving, supportive husband. I am so blessed. I have a beautiful daughter that I hold in my arms, and I have two very precious children that I hold in my heart, and I always will. So that's me, more so on a personal level. And I do believe that a lot of that has to do with who I am professionally as well. Because professionally speaking, I am a rapid transformational therapy practitioner. A lot of you know that as RTT. I am also a coach, a speaker, and author. And the journey just continues.
Well said. Thank you for introducing us to you, Aviva, and to learn a little bit more about you. So share with us briefly about your loss journey.
That's always a difficult one. And I don't know why every time I feel that, you know what, I've gone over my story so many times, one day it'll be easier to share. And I'm not quite there yet, which is interesting. But I am very intentionally being vulnerable and authentic and telling you why, even after all these years, it's still not that easy. And even after putting pen to paper, it's still not easy. It's because, as many of our wonderful speakers and my co-authors have already talked about, healing and getting in a better place is not about forgetting what happened or not having any emotions attached. But it's when you can turn that life experience into wisdom and you no longer have that sharp pain and grief attached to your story, that is when you know that you're starting to feel better. So fortunately, I am at least in that space. And as far as my story now, what I can say is I had never, ever heard the term secondary infertility or miscarriages after you've already successfully gone through pregnancy, you've given birth. So I always associated miscarriages or any kind of complications more so in the earlier parts of somebody walking the path to motherhood, because that's all I knew. And I'll be honest, obviously, I didn't know a whole lot about it. So it caught me very, very off guard. We didn't have any history of any complications, not between the two of us, not in my family, not in my husband's family. So it was very, very very shocking and numbing. And that's really how my journey began. Out of the many moments that I'll never forget, the one moment I will not forget is when we had to share the news with our daughter, who was 3 at the time. So you can imagine that tender age. We talked about why we should not forget fathers as we're here spreading hope and courage. And I absolutely agree, hands down, we should not forget about our partners who have walked this path with us. And I'd like to add to that, because not everyone, but many of us may have had this experience of loss when you already have children at home and they are grieving siblings as well. So the thing that I always go back to is the moment in time when my daughter, our daughter, who knew that I was pregnant, she was so excited. In fact, I remember the day when I had to go in for my very first doctor's appointment, and my daughter, even at that age, so super smart and very observant, she said, "Mommy, you're not dressed for work," because I had to dress very professionally for work, pretty much like this every day. And I said, "Oh no, honey, I have a doctor's appointment." And the first thing she said was, "Is everything okay with the baby?" And I said, "Yeah, everything's great. You know, the doctors just want to make sure I'm okay, the baby's okay." This was my first appointment, and everything felt and looked perfectly all right. And a few hours later, when we picked her up from daycare, I was so hoping that she would forget about the whole thing, but she hadn't. And the first thing she asked me when we picked her up that day was, "What did the doctor say?" Mm-hmm. I had not thought about an answer. I didn't even have enough time to process what was happening myself. And I wasn't expecting her to remember. I didn't think she'll ask. I definitely did not think that would be the first question she'll ask. And the best answer I could come up with in that moment, I got goosebumps right now. The best answer I could come up with in that moment was, "Honey, the doctor said you get to be our only princess for a little bit longer." Wow. So that is my story. And as you read the chapter, you will get to see parts of my life that very, very, very few people have had a glimpse into. And I really hope, from my heart to yours, that I'll leave you inspired, and that I'll leave you hopefully with some tactical, concrete steps so that you can take your next step.
Aviva, yeah, that is tough. Having to explain loss to your child. Again, that is something that we don't often share. Just the process of everything. It's one thing when, we didn't have any children, but when you have to explain the loss to your children, it's like an extra, sword or knife in your heart. Like, oh God, I gotta explain it to you, and then then you're hurt, and God, it's being such a resilient woman. And I know, again, things can be so triggering, and also I know it's not easy. It's not easy to share, but I admire your courage, your bravery to share, and your vulnerability, like you said earlier. Thank you, Aviva. And it has been an honor to work with you on this project. And thank you, dear, so much. Absolutely means everything to me and the other authors to just bring a beautiful book together and inspire others and encourage them with your story, dear. And I know, even in your heart now, and I know you even still feel it all over your body from the head to your toe. I know the feeling. But just breathe. Just exhale.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I know. I see you hold your breath. I see it. It's okay. It's release it and allow it. And then this is great for others that has experienced this. Like, you still see she's still very raw and have all the emotions behind it, like it happened just yesterday. But again, that shows her bravery, her resiliency, her strength to even come on and share with us tonight. So Aviva, thank you, love. Thank you so much. What No, absolutely. Wait, first two things. Inspiration inspiration and just a little bit more encouragement to the audience. If someone has just experienced loss recently or 10 years ago, that, you know, and encourage them more. And then also tell us where we can connect with you at.
Okay, I'll start with the connection just because that's an easier one. You can find me when you go to my website. It's avivasolson.com, and it's spelled exactly how my name shows up on the screen. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook. It's Aviva Solson, and I'm the only Aviva Solson. I can pretty much guarantee it. So you'll find me very, very easily. Or you can email me at contact@avivasolson.com. Oh, last words of advice or encouragement. My go-to always is to find a song that I can play in my head over and over that really empowers me. I am a very musical person. I think I've always been that way. And because in the last few years, especially as I learned more about the mind-body connection through RTT, as I mentioned earlier, I know that the words we say to ourselves have so much to do with how we feel in any given situation. So I would really suggest that if you need to change the ringtone of your phone, find a really empowering song, or just sing it to yourself over and over. And if you don't have one, I'll give you mine. Feel free to borrow it, no copyrights. And here it goes. Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion, like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one match, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain, I will say them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Prove I'm alright song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I've still got a lot of fight left in me.
Amazing, Aviva. Amazing. Oh, that's awesome. I would not dare sing, but you did awesome.
So feel free to borrow it.
Guys, I told you she made, I didn't cry because I don't want to make my makeup up and smear and you see all that. So, but absolutely touched my heart. So please, again, connect with all of the authors, the special guests on social media. Aviva, thank you, dear, for absolutely everything. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I can't wait for all of us to read your chapter. So thank you, dear.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So we have one more incredible author. Her name is Michelle Smith, and we met on Clubhouse, right? So we, our stories are kind of similar. So we talked, she told me that she wanted to participate in the collaboration, and she shared her story, and it was like I was listening to me talk, literally. Like I had chills and goosebumps and everything. And I was like, Michelle, have you been in my house? Are you in my head? Have you been through my experience? Because what she experienced, I can relate to so well, right? So, gosh, another phenomenal woman that is going to give you some words of encouragement, also share her story briefly. We're going to save some for the book, but we're going to hear her out. Her name is Miss Michelle Smith, and I'm honored to have her with us tonight. Hi, Michelle, dear.
Hi, Ashley. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't have any tears flowing, but still, they've been trying to come. I'm like, suck it up. So thank you, dear, for coming on. We're so happy, actually. Oh crap! I just went out of order.
Yeah.
No. Yep. Hey, sorry guys. It's virtual. We're going with the flow. So after Michelle, we're gonna have Miss Incredible Jasmine Welch. Jazz, I'm sorry, I love you. But Michelle, tell us who you are, tell us about you, and then share with us briefly your loss experience.
Okay, well, hi everyone. Thank you again, Ashley, for this amazing collaboration. I'm Michelle. I am a mother, a wife. I am a doula and lactation program coordinator. I'm a full circle doula. I'm a bereavement doula. I'm a lot of things, but one of my favorite things I get to be is a mother. So I am a mom to 5. I say 5 because my firstborn, Miracle, was born at 19 weeks pregnant when I was 19 weeks pregnant. And although she did not make it, she is an everyday household name here. So my children correct me all the time. If I say I have 4 children, they're like, actually, you have 5. So I make sure I always honor her as my child. And a little bit about my story. So at 19 weeks pregnant, I had my baby girl unexpectedly. My water broke. And there was no cause, there was no alarm, there was no warning. It just broke. And so after experiencing that, it was devastating. It was so many things. But for me, I refused to just sit in, okay, I lost my daughter, now what? That wasn't enough for me. And it could have been the denial. It could have been the hurt, the anger, and me trying to make it make sense. But for me, I had to cling on to something that would help me through what I was going through. So for me, I had to cling on to hope. Hope was what I felt was all I had left. And I knew had I let go of that hope for one moment, my life probably would have been gone. Had for any moment I allowed that hope to slip away, I could have potentially ended my life. And so for me, I allowed that hope to be what carried me through that grieving process. And even to now, grief, it doesn't go away. It's an ongoing process. I think Dr. Janie said it's a journey, right? And so for me, there's times that are triggering. There's times that you could be sitting here and all of a sudden tears are flowing because I'm thinking about my daughter. But it's in those moments where I just remind myself of where I was when that journey first began and where I am now. And it was that hope that carried me through that.
You said something very pivotal, important, and that's hope. And that's hope, Michelle. And let me tell you, when we lost the twins, I didn't have hope. I didn't have faith. I didn't have nothing. All I had was the depression, the anxiety. My marriage suffered badly. And I say that because the communication got strained, because you never know how your partner is feeling. So if they seem like they're okay, you might not say how you feeling. And, you know, at the beginning, you're like this, but as time goes and you're still the mother, still struggling, it's kind of hard for sometimes the spouse or the your partner to come to grips with that, to know how to help, right? So it strained us, it strained us. So I didn't have hope. But if I would have had someone like yourself or the women, the authors, or Dr. Janie or Cora Jakes Coleman to give me some hope and inspiration, my journey probably wouldn't have lasted for so long. And I say journey because of the grief and the mourning and just the overall pain that we experienced, and my husband, but he dealt with it internally, right?
Right.
So thank you for your story, your chapter. Thank you for your participation and being open and more vulnerable with us in the audience to let us know that we need to hold on to hope, right? So, yeah, thank you.
You are so welcome.
So is there like additional encouragement or inspiration that you want to share with us? And by the way, if I did not already tell you, I love your daughter's name, Miracle, because I believe in miracles like nobody's business.
Yes.
So the fact that you named her Miracle, it just says it all, right? It says it all. So you want to share any inspiration or more encouragement with the audience?
I would just say to try to keep your eyes on your own journey. I find a lot of the times we look at and compare ourselves to how we see someone else going through their process. And for me, I'm like, if I take my eyes off of my path and I'm too busy looking over here, I can run into something. So you can run into some unexpected stuff that you don't even see coming because you're looking and comparing where you are and where someone else is. So keep your eyes on your own journey and know that it is your journey, is your process, is your story, is your way. So do it in your own time. Don't let anyone dictate. You have a certain timeline where you're supposed to be done grieving. No, it's your process. However you need to do it in that manner and be okay with that. And know that if you desire to get to the other side of that, you have some sisters that you can call on to help you through it. So that's all I got. Thank you.
I love it. Absolutely. You're so right about that, because many times we are looking at how somebody else might be coping or how long it took them. Like, do not compare yourself to nobody here or any other someone that's lost a child or had this kind of experience, and they kind of getting on, just fine. Mm-hmm. But if you're stuck, you're stuck. And admitting that you're stuck is the first step to really deciding or making that decision to be able to put that, that was the first foot forward. However you want to say it. But yeah, just pay attention to yourself. Be patient with yourself. And another thing that I want to add to that, Michelle, is fall back in love with you. Fall back in love with you, because as women, we know that we're supposed to be able to bear children, healthy, living children, without any obstacles. And when we don't, we feel shame, guilt, broken, like we can't do what we're designed to do. So begin to just fall back in love with you. Just pay attention to you, and that's okay. And as Aviva said earlier, those that have children that goes through this, if we're not okay, we can't be okay for our children and our spouse and our family. So it's okay to just love yourself a little bit more and speak into your body, speak into your life, speak over yourself with affirmations of, I am whole. I can do this. My womb is whole. Just simple things like that. And I tell you guys, it makes a world of difference. Wouldn't you say so, Michelle?
Absolutely. Those affirmations and putting it in the atmosphere, that is huge. You absolutely have to speak life into yourself.
Yes, absolutely. I love it. Where can the audience connect with you at, Michelle?
So you can connect with me on Instagram. It is Just Call Me Shell. JUSCALLMESHELL. And on Facebook, you can find me at Michelle and the letter X.
Okay. So again, I will send that in the email so you can have everybody's Instagram handles. I got it. Handle. Said it right.
There you go.
Remember, I'm like, what is it called? Handle. That word right there. Michelle, thank you, love, for coming on. Thank you for being a part of this collaboration. Thank you for sharing your life, one of your most precious stories with us. And thank you for allowing us to be able to use your story to continue to heal. So thank you, love.
Thank you again, Ashley.
You're so welcome. Have a wonderful evening, and we will look forward to reading your chapter. So bye. Guys, so are y'all still here? Y'all still here? Do I see some comments? We're still here. No, I'm just playing. So we're going to have, I promise, now I'm right, our last beautiful co-author. This lady, hands down, absolutely, like she takes my heart every time I hear her story. And I say that because I know her very personal. I've known her for years. And so ironically, or if you want to call it that, we lost our children close to around to the same time. And so I'm very familiar with her journey, reading her story, hearing her story, but also being right there with her in some instance to what she had to experience. Before we meet Miss Jasmine Welch, the giveaway that we all participated in, I do have names. So once we finish up with everyone, after Miss Jasmine Welch, I do have a Dr. Janelle Jones to come and inspire you some more. And she's also going to share her experience with what she's had to endure during her loss experience. So we'll get to her here shortly. But I'm watching the comments, and anybody that sends any proof in comments, great. If you're having trouble putting it in the comments, that's okay. I do have someone sending me names, so just know that. So we will put your name in the spinner, and then whoever it lands on, that's who gets the prize. So I am honored again to welcome, and it might have been done on purpose. I mean, accident, my bad. Accident. It was done on accident, but it might have been for someone that might have just popped on that needs to relate to this story specifically. So if you're here and you just popped on, it's not by accident. So I am happy to welcome Miss Jasmine Welch. Hi, honey.
Hi, beautiful.
Oh, well, we did it. We all made it. You guys have been phenomenal. You guys have been rocking it. So thank you for being part of this collaboration, Jasmine. And as I said before, I'm very familiar with your journey. So tell us who Jasmine Welch is.
So I am a woman. I am a mother. I am a business owner. I am a sister. I'm a daughter. I'm a friend. I am so many different things, but I am also growing and learning different things and refinding myself as well.
Yes. And so with that, you told me prior that you're all about self-love and self-care, and I love that.
Yes, ma'am. All about self-love, self-care, just being more, as Michelle said, and all of my amazing other co-authors said, just being mindful about what we do put into the universe and how we do handle things and situations that are brought to us and how we go about getting to the other side of those are very important.
Yes. So, okay, real fast, Jazz. I just saw Aviva put a message in the chat, and it says, "We're already the #1 hot new release." Wow.
Yay!
Wow, that is awesome. Congratulations. We ain't even done with the event, guys. See, I told y'all rocking it. I just got chills all over my body. Oh, God. That never happened so fast. I'm so proud of you guys. That is awesome. Congratulations, authors. Guys, oh, my God. Janelle, ain't that great? Like, that was fast, wasn't it? That was fast. Like, that was really freaking fast. See, again, and so, look. Before when Michelle was on, I seen the numbers 1111. Okay. And I'm very all into angel numbers. So when you start seeing things line up, we're walking in purpose and we're doing what we're supposed to do. And I was like, and now I see 1212. So yeah, we're in alignment. Good, guys, phenomenal. Congratulations, ladies. Congratulations. So back to you, Jazz. I'm so sorry. But I just wanted to share it. It's phenomenal, like amazing. So Jazz, thank you for sharing with us who you are and more about your self-love. So please share your love story with us.
All right. So to put it as brief as possible, I went full term with my pregnancy. I was not able to give a natural or vaginal birth. My son was actually in distress, so we did a emergency cesarean. With the emergency cesarean, when my son was actually born, he did not make a sound. He did not cry. And as a mother, when you're laying on an operating table, the first thing that you listen for is your baby. I didn't hear that. So here it is. I'm under anesthesia and I'm freaking out because I don't hear my son crying. And so the nurses took him over to the side and nobody's saying anything to me. And maybe about 5-10 minutes later, I heard a cry. So my heart was like, okay, I hear my son, everything's going to be okay. I heard him. So because he was born not breathing, he went into the NICU. So we're going to fast forward about 8 weeks forward. With a cesarean, I was given 8 weeks off work. So it is in April. I come back to work. I'm back to work from maternity leave for about 4 days. And it was on a Thursday. And Ashley, you know, we talked about this before.
Yeah.
Working in our department, you know, we had specials and stuff in the cafeteria. So it was a Thursday. And I remember it was a Thursday because of the special that was downstairs. So I went and got lunch. I came back up to my desk, ate lunch, and maybe about 10, 15 minutes afterwards, my work desk rings. I don't think nothing of it. I'm having time. I'm at work. We're laughing and joking and doing work. And so the phone call, the person on the other end says, you need to come home. And the first thing in my mind is, why do I need to come home? Like, what's going on? She didn't want to tell me why I needed to come home. So, of course, I'm like, well, I can't come home. I don't have any time to use to leave work. What's going on? I need something substantial for you to tell me why I need to leave work. So she's like, Isaiah isn't breathing. What do you mean Isaiah's not breathing? So I dropped the phone and I'm hyperventilating. I'm standing in my boss's office and I just shout out, I have to leave. Like, I have to go. I have to leave right now. With that, I had a coworker that actually took me by my home. We picked up my son's father. We went to the hospital. Going in what they call a green room, I knew it was bad. We got to the hospital. They're like, we can't let you see him. Why? Was my first thing. Like, I haven't seen my son since this morning. She got the okay from the doctor to let me go in. And when I went in, there was about 4 or 5 nurses doing, in my son's room, they were doing baby chest compressions on my son. So that was hard just to watch by itself. And the doctor walked up to me and he said, we've been doing compressions on him for about an hour here. And they were doing chest compressions in the ambulance for about 45 minutes before he got to the hospital. So he said, I have to call time of death. And I'm a little bit more emotional today because yesterday was his day that I laid him to rest. He would have been 12 years old this year. And I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay, Jazz. It's okay.
Going through that, it felt like being in a twilight zone. I couldn't get out. I was outside of my body, watching myself go through these different emotions. And I have to say, that is one of the hardest things to deal with. To know that you're in a situation where you feel helpless and you don't know what to do, you don't know where to turn, and you don't know if you're going to be okay and how you're going to be okay. And that, for me, was a turning point of how I looked at life and everything around me.
Jazz, we love you, honey. We love you. And I don't think it was by accident or whatever, however you want to put it, that you was the last person, because absolutely breathtaking. And because I was there with you, and because I have Isaiah's picture to this very day, it hits a little different. You know, it hits a little different. But baby, and I'm gonna say baby, you a strong woman. And probably everybody that's watching and seeing you and feel and with these emotions, and the fact that it was his anniversary yesterday, that's different too. So, and you could have very well said, Ash, I can't do this today. And I would have said, I understand. Everybody, the authors would have completely understood, because that anniversary, birthdays, they can be very hard, honey. And the fact that you still did this with us and that you were even sharing your story with us. Thank you, Jasmine. I know you are a person that is not open. You know, you keep your stuff to yourself. This is my business. Ain't nobody do my business, right? I know you, Jazz. But it is shown to me, just watching you bloom and blossom and heal, you know, one day at a time. It says so much about who you are as a person, who you are as a woman. And I know you continue to take these strides slowly but surely, would just continue to heal your heart. And we know it don't go away. It don't never go away, but then you somehow turn it into something a little bit positive, right? So again, thank you, honey, for just being you, for showing your bravery to us. And just thank you, Jasmine. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. I couldn't ask for a better person to be easy with me, but also to still be that person to help push us to our potential.
Oh God, I'll try not to cry. Like, I'm fighting back tears, listening to your story. I'm like, this did not make me cry, but it just, all of your stories just, they hit home with me, because that pain is absolutely excruciating. So is there any last encouragement or inspiration that you want to share with the audience?
Absolutely. It was said to me by an old coworker that we had at our job. You know, she said that you will never forget your child each day. And sometimes a day is too long. Sometimes an hour is too long. However you need to take it, whether it's second by second, moment by moment, you take the time to allow yourself to heal, not by anyone else's schedule, but by your schedule. Because if you move too fast, as you read my chapter in the book, I promise you that you will understand moving too fast and trying to heal and acting like you're okay and you're not will backfire. So give yourself the time to heal the way you need to heal.
Jasmine. Yeah, all that. Like, but again, like you and Michelle said, you know, you have to heal in your own time. No one can force you to hurry up and grieve or help you overcome. Like, it's a day by day, sometimes a minute by minute process to make sure that you are okay. And absolutely amazing encouragement and inspiration, and everybody is loving you in the chat right now. So we love Jasmine Welch, and I know that so many great things is ahead of you, Jasmine. And I'm spiritual. I'm very spiritual. So I've been feeling you specifically very heavy in my spirit to know that continuously breakthroughs is coming through. And then see, this ain't even part of the show, but I'm starting to feel it down low right now. I literally feel all this, but a breakthrough is coming to you, through you, for you, over you and your entire family. And your heart will continue to heal slowly but surely. And you're supposed to have a very full life. So take that however you want to receive that. But that is just literally what just downloaded for you, honey. So again, thank you. And where can our audience connect with you at?
So you can connect with me on Facebook under Butterflies J. You can also connect with me on Instagram. Polka, which is POCKA06 is my Instagram handle, but it will show up as Butterflies J. You can also connect with me on my business website, hustle-52-weeks.com, which also has my business things on there, and I also celebrate angel moms on there as well.
Jasmine, thank you, dear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I am going to bring up all of the authors that's here. Amie Lands had to pop out, but don't forget about her because she's very well part of this, all of this, like she was earlier. But I just want to bring everybody on and just congratulate them for already hitting the #1 new release. So we know bestseller is coming up next. And just thank them for just being absolutely amazing. So I'm going to bring them all up. So give me 1 second. I have Miss Aviva Solson joining. I have Miss Michelle Smith joining. I have Miss Amiee Rivenbark joining the stage. Hi, ladies. Hello. I've been seeing you guys. You guys been going bonkers back there. I've been watching you. Oh my God. You ladies absolutely did y'all thing tonight. And I am so proud of you guys. Amie Lands, I know you're in the chat. I see you. We see you in the chat. We love you. Guys, absolutely phenomenal interview, feedback, inspiration, encouragement. And guess what? You get to leave tonight and be a #1 new release on Amazon already. Yes. So I'm gonna go in order. So guys, give your last little quote, or actually, yes, quote. Share your closing quote with everyone. And then after we finish the authors, then we're gonna bring our other guest from our last collaboration so we can hear from her. But let's go with Jasmine Welch.
Okay. No, I said I remember like a piece of what my quote is, and you put me on the spot. But I do remember the best part of my quote, which is pretty much what I just said, about allowing yourself to heal and not acting like you're okay when you're really not. Like that is the biggest thing. And I know that all of my co-authors, we've all been through that dark space. We've all been in that moment where, how am I going to get out of bed? How am I going to take a shower? The simplest things can be the hardest things. So allowing yourself to be okay and heal.
Yeah. Thank you, Jasmine. Aviva Solson, you're next.
I'm going to share a quote that has been helping me today. Today's International Grief Mother's Day. It holds a lot of meaning and depth for all of us. While I absolutely love the quote at the back of the book, and that is one of my favorite quotes as well, but I'm going to share what I'm feeling in this moment. And that is that in life, when something seems impossible, sometimes you just have to take the first step or the next step, even if you don't feel ready. That quote has helped me through so many days. There are so many times I don't feel ready. In fact, here's a little secret. There are more days when I don't feel ready in comparison to the number of days when I do feel ready.
Yeah.
But I always go back to, who is the mother that all my babies are watching? Who am I for myself? And who am I for all the people that I love? And before I can become a better mother to all of them, I need to mother myself better. Yes. And when I put myself first, through me, I put my family first. So I leave you with that tonight.
Thank you, Aviva. I love that. And I love that. It's very, very profound. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Amiee Rivenbark, please share your amazing quote.
Yes. So I'm not sure if this was the quote that was on our book, but wasn't prepared either for that. But basically, my quote would be, that I have walked through this. I've walked through, and that's the big key word, is I had to go through it. There was no around, underneath. Of course you can self-medicate. You can, like Jasmine was saying, pretend that you're okay. but you have to actually, something that my husband Dustin says is you have to feel before you can heal. So you actually have to deal with those emotions. You have to be okay with not being okay. And so just being able to go through it, I've walked through the heartache. Us ladies all have, and we're on the other side. And that's where hope lies. And that's where we're at. And we're standing in the gap saying, you can get there too.
Yeah. Amie, thank you for that. That is phenomenal. Yes. And it's the whole purpose of this, right? That's the whole purpose, is to let someone know who might be struggling, who might have just had a loss yesterday, last week, last year. We know that you might be feeling stuck or just utterly at a loss, but we are here to say, we know it's hard, but take one step at a time, 1 minute by minute, hour by hour. But we're on the other side to let you know, that give you some kind of destination, that hope is on the other side. So thank you, Miss Amiee Rivenbark.
Yes.
Michelle, you are on mute, but would you please share your quotes?
Yes. So I'll read my quote and share a little piece of what I felt when Pastor Cora was sharing. So my quote: no matter how hard it gets every day, make the decision that you will heal more today than you did than the day before. And to add on to that, there is life in what's left. So choose to live.
Yes, Michelle, that is wow. Yes, sent chills down my body. Okay. Oh, guys. So let me tell y'all are so phenomenal. Y'all are so amazing. And like I said earlier, this has been so triggering for me. And I didn't even mention, so as anybody that participated in the fundraiser through registration, any funds that's going to the fundraiser, we're going to give that 95% back to March of Dimes to help those that can use the funds for bereavement, loss, just to give back, right? But the caveat to this is, when I did back in 2010, because I lost my twins in 2009. In 2010 and 2011, we did the March of Dimes walk, right? Put in the chat if you're familiar with March of Dimes, okay? So I was talking to the coordinator about what we did previously, years ago. For some reason, like, I'm already pumped up, ready to get the event together, putting everything together. And I'm talking to this coordinator and I found myself crying. I'm like, what is this? What's happening? What is these emotions that's coming over me? But what I realized was the person that I was back then, back when I was broken, hurt, lost, full of shame, full of guilt. I carried guilt for a long time. I was no longer that person today. I'm the person today standing in front of you with these other incredible ladies, able to give hope and inspiration and encouragement to you, to say, if you've experienced this or you're a supporter of someone that's experienced it, there is hope on the other side. So my whole breakdown, meltdown to this coordinator, I was like, I was bawling, like for real bawling. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. We're business is business. Why do you want? I'm crying. And she said, Ashley, I am moved to see you come to this recognition, because where I once was before, I am not that person now. Why? Because I'm like these ladies. I had the bravery, the strength, the courage to share my story. And sharing my story, like they're doing in this book, allowed me to put one step forward at a time. Take 1 minute at a minute, 1 hour by the hour. And now I am going on 12 years this year that my twins, Ariette and Will Jr., passed away. My daughter literally passed away laying on my chest. I am no longer that person that was stuck in grief. Does it go away? Nope. And any lady on this stage can tell you it does not go away. But they have been able to turn it into something a little bit more positive to share with you today. So, ladies, great job. We did our thing, right? Hand clap, hand clap, can we clap? Clap. Well, ladies, we're gonna wrap up here soon. We're gonna do the giveaway. We're gonna have Miss Dr. Janelle Jones come on and give us her experience and her encouragement, inspiration, and you will be inspired. Trust me, because she wouldn't be on here if she wasn't. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, so ladies, thank you so much for being a part of this whole collaboration, joining me on this movement. And this is not the last time that we will work together and inspire the world. So thank you guys. Have an amazing evening.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome. Have a good evening. Okay, ladies, audience. So we are going to, oh, Janelle, hey, Janelle. No, I see you. You're on here. Yes, she's on. Yeah, Janelle, you're on. Yeah, God, what happened? She's meant to be here. Janelle, we can't hear you. No, we can't hear you. She said, oh. So while she's figuring out her mute, what's going on with that? Okay, so she'll come right back. So Dr. Janelle Jones was on my last collaboration, my first Don't Struggle in Silence collaboration. And her story is very unique. Like everybody's story is unique, but hers have a little different touch to it. And I want her to be able to share that, but then also leave you with some extra encouragement and inspiration. Just, you know, how to, again, like everybody has been saying, put one foot in one foot in front of the other and move minute by minute and hour by hour. And I think she might be still having some difficulty. So let's give her a few minutes. So let's go ahead while she's figuring that out on her end. Let's go ahead and move forward with the giveaway. And we're going to bring up the spinner. And then I'm going to put your names in it that participated. And I think she's trying to come on. And we'll see who won the giveaway of the $25 gift card. Also a copy of Cora Jakes Coleman's book. And then also a copy of our book. And whoever wins, we thank you for participating and supporting us and loving us, right? We're awesome. We're awesome, ain't we? No, I'm just playing. Okay, so let me see who we got. Let's see here. Okay, we have Nikki Brown. So we're going to put you in the spinner. And actually, let me just share my screen so you can see what I'm doing. So give me one moment. Let's share my screen. Okay, here's the spinner. Can thumbs up? Yes, I see it myself. Okay, so we have Nikki Brown. Let's see here. And forgive me if I do any misspelling because I'm trying to move a little fast here. We have Vera Williams, sorry. We also we have Dustin Rivenbark, and he is the lovely husband and supporter of Amiee Rivenbark, guys, and he's been down with everything. Let me tell you, this man is absolutely awesome, and we're going to hear him actually before we get into all that. So he is going to join us on the Don't Struggle in Silence radio show soon. We have yet to set a date, Dustin, but we are. So make sure you guys definitely tune into the radio show on any podcast coming up soon. Who else do we have? And we also have Ebony D. Davis. Now, anybody that needs to be added, please pop in the comments if I need to add you really fast. Let's see here. Do we have anybody? Okay, looks like we don't. Let me see. Okay, so you're ready to spin the spinner? So we have Vera Williams, Dustin Rivenbark, Ebony Davis, and also Nikki Brown. Okay, let's see. And it looks like Vera Williams. Yay! Awesome. Vera, please, dear, reach out to me via, let's do Instagram. Send me your email address and also your address so I can get you over the gift card and also the copies to your books. And I'm absolutely honored that you supported us. And Vera, if you could put in the chat really fast who you're here to support so we can shout them out. Let's see here. Let's see. Let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Okay, I'm getting some comments here. Let's see who we got. Jasmine Welch is your aunt. Thank you, Vera, for supporting us. Thank you for supporting Jasmine on all of this. We appreciate you so much, dear. So please send your message to Instagram, your email, and also your mailing address so I can get everything over to you. Thank you, dear, so much. So we do have Dr. Janelle Jones that just popped on. I do see her mic. Like, you hot, she hot, y'all. She hot. Okay, we're going to welcome her to the show.
I'm burning up trying to figure out how to work this camera, y'all. Oh man. I was like, okay, but I figured out what it was. It was trying to get onto my computer and not my actual camera. But anyway, I want to say congratulations to all the ladies who made that bestseller. Yes. You're going to make bestseller. You guys are going to make bestseller. So congratulations in advance. I have purchased my copy. So to all of you out there, make sure you go purchase your copy today. So I purchased my copies. I'm ready to read the stories and dive into them. I don't know about y'all. I was like really I'm like, oh my God, these stories. Just you don't think about the things, that happens when you're going through this loss. And I want to I'll tell you my story and talk a little bit more about pregnancy loss. Do you want me to go just dive in?
Dive in.
Dive in. So my story is a little different from when it comes to, pregnancy loss. So I did experience a pregnancy loss. My pregnancy loss was really on the heels of a domestic relationship. Well, a domestic violence event. Let me just say it like that. I can't force anyone or blame anyone kind of what happened. So that's why I say a domestic violence event, because it was two people involved. I will be lying to you if I would say it was just the other person's fault, what had happened. So I wanted to make sure I make that disclaimer. But anyway, I was 3 months pregnant and, I was a teenage mom. This was my second child. I was 3 months pregnant, and me and my boyfriend at the time, just had an argument like we did because we grew up very dysfunctional. Both of our households were very dysfunctional. So honestly, domestic violence was something that we saw in our household, right? So it was something that we just had unhealthy habits, and we didn't know how to really be in a relationship because we didn't know each other. And long story short, we ended up getting into a physical altercation. And later that day or later that evening, I ended up just going to the hospital because, just to make sure everything was okay. And they told me that I had a spontaneous miscarriage, which meant everything passed. And long story short, 3 days later, they lied. The hospital said that I passed and I was at work. I took a couple of days off and I went to work, and I ended up going into what was actually labor. I worked at a hospital. I worked third shift. So I couldn't leave. I couldn't do anything like that. So I had to sit at work until someone came to relieve me from my shift because I was a hospital operator. So I was a girl who was calling the cold blues and traumas. So I couldn't get up and be like, I'm about to go, I got to leave. Although I worked at the hospital, we were located in a whole different building. So I ended up going to the emergency room. Blood at that time is dripping down my pants. And when I go in there, I relieve myself in the bathroom. And then the doctors told me that actually was the baby. And so I heard, I think Jasmine was saying she quickly tried to heal from it, quickly tried to get over it. I quickly tried to process that whole experience. And I was pretty young at the time. I think I was 20. And I was quickly trying to hurry up and okay, everything's okay. And at that time, my boyfriend, who ended up being my husband, and ex-husband, that's a long story. But anyway, he ended up, he didn't know what to think. And, he was really in a space where this is my fault, right? So that was my experience with pregnancy loss. I quickly tried to hurry up, and I quickly tried to let's get pregnant again. Let's figure something else out, because I felt bad and I tried to relieve his pain as well. And so it was a very tragic experience for me because first of all, just being at my job, sitting there, I was cramping, and I thought they were just, menstrual cramps. And I think at the end of the night, I knew I was having contractions, and it was 10 times worse. So my story is different, but I still felt that loss. I still had to deal with that grief, and I didn't know how to process that grief, being a 20-year-old girl who, didn't know who she was, let alone being in, this relationship and, trying to make sure he's good and then trying to make sure I am good because we just really lost a child. So it was a very difficult time, and we ran out and hurried up and got pregnant with another baby. And you know, hindsight 2020, like you said, Ashley, you ain't the same person. That wasn't the healthy thing to do, but I was trying to hurry up and deal and get over that pain. So that was very, very tricky for me. The one thing, I don't know if you want me to get into quote, but the one thing that I had to learn from that experience was I had to forgive myself. I was weighing very heavy on me, like what I did, what I allowed to happen, what could I have happen, what I could have did. So I had to forgive myself throughout that entire experience. And you're right, a lot of ladies on here are saying that's something you don't forget. That is something you think about. Oh man, what would have happened if this? You know, what would have happened if I did this? And you, as a mom, carry so much of that burden with you, and you go back and wonder, how can I did something different? What could I have done to save this baby? Yeah. And I always tell my clients, you can't live in tomorrow or in yesterday. You can't live your life in yesterday. Yeah, the grief is going to be there. So I want to talk about different grief. I just lost my mom in December. And I'm talking about that because I want people to know, whenever we're dealing with grief, and this is what people don't talk about, whenever we're dealing with grief, we're dealing with the loss of something. It could be a job, it could be a child, it could be a parent, it could be whatever that is, you're losing something. And what happens is we don't process that grief properly. And then we're bleeding on other people, right? Can I get an amen? How many people have been there? Because we're not properly processing our grief, right? Like my sister said, we just trying to rush and get through it. And my other sister, Amie, I believe, said, we're not dealing with it. Her husband says, you need to feel the deal. And a lot of us are not dealing with these issues. And some of these issues are going way back 20, 30, 40 years ago. Losing a child, and I sympathize with my sisters out here. Your stories are absolutely incredible. Is one of the, because it's backwards. You know, we are taught the order of the way it goes. We lose our parents, then we lose our kids. So when you lose a child, a baby who you carry, I was only 3 months pregnant. A lot of women on here, they went longer than that. When you lose that child, you feel like you're losing a piece of you. And the best thing you could do is take that piece and just bring out the best of it. Try to remember. I know, Ashley, you were saying that you were able to like volunteer. Let me tell you, let me take a side note. The fact that Ashley is on here right now, she has written several books, has a publishing company. She is a coach, and she is helping women through pregnancy loss, shows you that God is able to heal you and move you to the next level. So listen, what the enemy tried to do, because the enemy would try to destroy you in your thoughts, in your depression, in your thinking. He'd try to drown you in that. Yes, this event happened to you, but he'd try to drown you and make you feel sorry and sorrow for what you've been through. And then we stay stuck and we stay stagnant and we don't move on. But look how God moved in Ashley's life. Look how God was able to raise her up, heal her. Let's make that disclaimer, because some people, you got to heal. Now, you can't be out here bleeding on people. Heal her. She said she was not the same person she was 12 years ago. Although these things happened to her, she didn't forget those things happened to her. She has allowed those things not to control her life. And with that, what she did was she reached back and dug down in, and she is helping other women out of the same situation. Can I get an amen? You need to put an amen in the comments for Ashley. Just the fact that Ashley did not struggle in silence and she began to speak her truth. She was able to go back and help a lot of people, not only write their story, but heal from the event of having a pregnancy loss. So don't sleep on that. Whole point is, don't sleep on the things that has happened to you that brought you some pain, that made you feel sad, that made you feel disgusted, that hurt you, those grieving moments, those hurtful moments that you're up at night crying for God and crying out to God to help you in. He's going to use those things to turn it around and help you pull someone out that valley. So I'm telling you, look at Ashley as a prime example. Don't sleep on the stuff that you're going through. Don't sleep on that stuff. You need to heal. Amen. Don't be Amie, right? Don't do that to people. You need to heal, but listen, you are purposed for a reason. How amazing is God to take the pain that you went through, Ashley, turned it into a purpose, because it ain't just you. It's millions upon millions. I can't even imagine the numbers of pregnancy loss. I know almost all the women I know who had babies had a loss. In fact, I wish my sister was able to come on here, because her boyfriend kicked her in the stomach when she was 7 months pregnant, killed the baby. Ooh. Right? And yeah, domestic violence, generational curse, that's a whole different story. But listen, when I tell you God wants to heal you and use you to raise you up to help other people, trust and believe Ashley is the person walking in front of you. And I'm saying that is don't allow what has happened to you to stop you from reaching your purpose. Listen, my child, my mom, because it's so recent, I'm like, Mother's Day is coming up, right? Yeah. My mom's birthday was in June. So I'm like, God, I'm just praying that you're going to protect me and help me. Like you said, those moments, those milestones, those things that it's their anniversary, it's their birthdays. Those things be those days where it's like, I'm not okay, right, Amie? And that's okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you I was a therapist, but listen, that's okay to not be okay. That is okay to be like, I had a moment at the beginning of April where, because April, my birthday's in April, and I lost last year in April, I lost my sister 4 months before that. My sister and her husband passed away a week apart. And I was grieving my sister because my sister and I were really close. And then now this year, so I started thinking like, wow, last year this time I was like boo-hooing about my sister. Now I'm boo-hooing about my mom and my sister. And the reason why I'm talking about this, because it's a loss. We can get very lost. No one is saying don't deal with these losses. You have to deal with them. You're going to be reminded of your family members, of your babies. You're going to be reminded of them. But you have to learn how, and I want you to go through the process. Don't be trying to skip. Learn how to take those moments. With my mom, I had to learn how to take those moments and turn them into something positive. I did have my ugly cries, and at times I still do, and that is okay. I give myself permission to be okay. Okay, I have to make sure I do that, because then I'm gonna be crazy, insane Janelle, and then no one's gonna want to be around me, right? But that's what we do to ourselves. You know, we're suffering in silence. You know, we're pushing that pain out. We're really not dealing. You have to deal to heal. We're not dealing with it. Oh, it's just a loss. Oh, it's just, I was only 3 months, you know, oh, the baby. Oh, no, that stuff hurt because you severed a tie with something. Even if it was 3 months, it was something. Okay. You have to process that. But you have to promise yourself at the end of that you're going to live your life. Listen, go through that healing moment. Sometimes you got to take time away. Sometimes you don't need to be on social media sharing all your stuff and trying to get the validation from outside. Some of you guys on here, you need a therapist and Jesus. I know there's a lot of therapists on here. Sometimes you need a therapist and Jesus to help you get through. It's okay to seek counseling. Sometimes some of these things that we can't do ourselves. We're trying to push emotionally, and we don't have what it takes to do that. That's why you need to go seek help, and that's okay too. That is okay to seek help. Don't fool yourself into thinking that you don't need outside help and you're trying to look for these external factors to make you whole. Okay? We don't have time to do that. If you want to get healed on a fast track, invite the right people in to help you. That is so absolutely important. It is so absolutely important. So I want to say, I'm not for sure where Ashley went. Can y'all see Ashley? I want to say I think we're having technical. Okay, there she goes. Yeah. I was like, I don't know where Ashley went. I just want to encourage you. These women on here sharing their stories, me, Ashley, all of them, this is vulnerability. It is not easy to get up here and share the pain and the trials that you went through with the world. That's not easy to do. No. So for them to do that, that's like you said, bravery and courage. But in the event of it all, their realness, their rawness will help someone else through.
Yes.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting all of that, but we take it. You came on and delivered and encouraged and inspired all at the same time. So now it's an honor. It's been an honor since we met. Well, almost 4 years ago.
Has it been
like time goes. Yeah. So it's been an honor just to work with you on everything that we do together. It's always phenomenal. And I just want to say thank you for joining us tonight, dear. Thank you for waiting in the background, but thank you for coming to the event and also for pouring into us tonight. And what a message. What a message, dear. So thank you. Absolutely.
You're welcome.
How can we connect with you?
Yeah, so you can go to my website. I'm at www.janellejones.com. I'm sorry, JanelleJonesEmpowers.com. On Instagram, I'm JanelleJonesEmpowers.com. On Facebook, I am just Janelle Jones. I'm actually Dr. Janelle Jones. Don't put the E at the end of my name, y'all. But that is how you can connect with me.
Thank you, Dr. Janelle Jones. We love you, dear. You, my heart. Like, you were speaking some real truth and some real rawness, and just probably what a lot of us need tonight, right? So thank you, love. I hope you have a great evening, and just thank you. I can't wait for you to read the chapters. Please give me your feedback. Yes. I know you will, because you're also a publisher, so we were in this together. So
yes.
Thank you. So have a good night, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Guys, woo! Okay, so we have went over where I'm about to wrap it up. I promise. But so much inspiration and encouragement and hope has been on this event tonight, guys, and I hope you have truly, truly enjoyed yourselves. So I did get in the comments that a few people could not participate in the giveaway. So I'm going to redo the spinner and pick one more winner. So we're going to have 2 winners. So the first winner was Vera Williams, and now I'm going to do one more. Nikki Brown, Amiee Rivenbark, Ebony Davis are still in the drawing. I don't know, giveaway. And so we're going to do it one more time, and then we're going to close out. Okay. So, but thank you for just being here and participating tonight with us. Let me share my screen. So let's see here, share. Okay, here we go. Okay. So we have Nikki Brown, Amiee Rivenbark, Ebony Davis, Tiffany Love, and Peyton Smith. And I think that might be it so far. Last takers. Do we have everybody? Janelle, everybody says you was absolutely amazing. They love you. You preached, Dr. J. So you did your thing, love. So here we go. Who we got? Tiffany Love. You are such a supporter. I feel like you win every time. Thank you, Tiffany, for supporting us and being here with us. And we absolutely we're grateful for you, Tiffany, for just always being there and riding out with everybody on the events, just being with us, Tiffany. So thank you, dear. So please also send your information to my Instagram page, your email, and your mailing address. And actually, you did win last time, didn't you, Tiffany? Put it in the chat. I know you won last time because I remember us talking about it. But that just shows your support, just how much of a great person, good-spirited person you are, just to support people. So thank you for supporting this mission and supporting the authors, and just thank you. So please send your stuff to my Instagram, Ashley K. Pittman. Also, Vera, my Instagram is Ashley K. Pittman, because I don't think I said that earlier. So we're about to close out, guys. We're going up on 8:40. I do want to invite anybody, first of all, authors, Aviva Solson, Michelle Smith, Amie Lands, Amiee Rivenbark, Jasmine Welch. Phenomenal job, ladies. You guys absolutely did such an incredible job. So let me tell you, thank you. I'm a little sad that we're about to end this project, but that's okay. That means we did our purpose and we fulfilled the mission. So thank you, ladies. I absolutely love and adore you. So anyone that we're going to be opening up the doors here, actually the doors are open now. So if you desire to share your story, to do what these ladies did, to encourage and inspire and uplift, join me on my next collaboration. You can go to my website at www. Actually, let's go ahead and pop it over here. Let's see here. Okay, so if you want to do the next collaboration, please join me at my website, or go to my website at www.ashleykpittman.com and go to author collaboration opportunity. If you are someone that has a story, that was ready to speak about it and tell about it, please join us. I did do this. This is where I put it. So these as what are they called? Handles? Aviva, where you at? Instagram handles? Let me see. Tell me. Instagram handles? You typing? Hold on. Let me say it right. I promise. Yes. Instagram handles for you guys to connect with all of the authors, connect with Dr. Janie Lacy, and also follow Miss Cora Jex Coleman. Guys, it was a freaking awesome event, right? So let's close out. Again, I'm going to put up my last slide for my next collaboration. And then also, we just thank you for being here. I hope everybody has an amazing night. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the authors, for taking the time to support us. And it's now 8:42, so we got a couple more minutes and then that's it. But guys, thank you. This means so much to us. And I hope when we wake up tomorrow, we are best-selling authors. If not tomorrow, the next day. But we definitely will get there because we already #1 new release already. Like that was so fast. So I hope everybody got this. Again, I was send it in an email post-event. And let me see here. Do I need to share anything else? That's it, guys. So I'm going to close out with the collaboration opportunity up on the screen. And then again, to go to my website, guys. Everybody have an amazing evening. I love you guys. Have a good night. Bye, everybody. All right, let's see what we got here. And that's it.